We are now dealing with question number 4. If you need insight on questions 1 up to question 3, you can get access to them on our YouTube channel, Tutoring by Manyemba. We are following through this June 1999 paper 1 question paper, and we plan to do so until we get to 2024. That having been said, let us dive in. That is our question number 4, and our topic of interest, it's going to be number bases. Now, talking about number bases, we are going to just hint on the principles and fundamentals which govern number bases. But if you need the whole topic to be expounded, you can comment in the comment section. Maybe you can produce a video to minister to that need. But looking at our question there, it is saying express 2 times 5 squared plus 3 as a number. So before we go anywhere, we are met with a task of solving 2 times 5 squared plus 3. How can we solve that? Okay, let us take turns to see if we can just do it haphazardly. Of course, this is trouble, 5 squared. We need to be able to know what it is. So we will say 2 times 5 squared, that's 5 times 5, 25 plus 3. Let us just follow the order. 2 times 25, that will be 50 plus 3, so it's 53. So this is student A. We have done it. The solution of student A. Let us look at the solution of student B to the same question. Student B then says, yes, it's 2 times 25 plus 3. But I want to add first. You see, I just love adding. It's more natural. So this becomes 2 times 25 plus 3, that's 28. And what then is 28 plus 28 multiplying 2? 2 times 8 is 16. 1, 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1. So student B gets 58. Here becomes a problem. The same mathematical expression is yielding 2 different sets of numbers which cannot be related. Who is correct and who isn't? There are principles which can be followed to govern who is correct between students A and B. And actually, this is the first court of call of this question. This question, of course, it's more centered on the principles of number bases, but it also takes a detour asking the student if that student can arithmetically operate questions which combine expressions which combine different arithmetic operations, in this case multiplication and addition. So there are 2 mnemonics which are useful in explaining this phenomena. These 2 mnemonics are very common. They are BODMAS and BOMDAS. So we have BODMAS and BOMDAS. Just giving a minor explanation of what these two mnemonics refer to. B, it's referring to brackets. So always deal with brackets first. Then D, it's division. M, it's multiplication. A, addition. And S, it's subtraction. So what this entails is when you are having an expression where different arithmetic operations are put in it, in order for you to solve it, this is the principle you should follow. You should solve what is in the bracket first, then you divide, multiply, add, or subtract. That is according to BODMAS. According to BOMDAS, solve what is in the brackets first, then multiply, divide, add, or subtract. To those who have a keen eye, you can notice that the difference between these two mnemonics is here, DM and MD. And these two mnemonics are both true, by the way, implying that MD and DM, they are interchangeable. You can first multiply and divide. You can also divide first, then multiply. Because of combining BODMAS, BOMDAS, we can just come up with something which is simpler, which governs and tells us what the correct answer is. And this is what I call the order of operations. Order of operations. This order of operations entails that firstly, you deal with brackets. Secondly, say that you multiply or you divide. They carry the same weighting. Thirdly, say that you add or you subtract. They also carry the same weighting. And this arrow indicates value. This is the food chain, if I may say, of arithmetic operations. Always solve what is in the brackets first. Then you can multiply or divide. You can do either. The interchangeability, which is indicated here. Then when it comes to addition or subtraction, you can start with whatever. You can either start by adding and subtracting, or you can start by subtracting, then adding. It does not matter. So let us now apply these principles to the expression we have, or rather examine or mark the workings of A and B to try and determine who of these two students has done the right thing. So let us follow through. 2 times 5 squared plus 3, which is the same here. Then 2 times 25 plus 3, the same. So student A started by multiplying before adding, because at this point we now have multiplication and addition. So student A is correct, because you have to multiply first before you add, right? Yet student B did add first before multiplication. That is the reason why that 58 answer is not correct, it's wrong, but the 53 answer is correct. Okay, going back to our question. The question is saying express 2 times 5 squared plus 3 as a number in base 5, then in base 2. And instead of saying 2 by 5 to the 2 plus 3, we can just say express 53 as a number in base 5 and base 2. There is a statement which is very, very crucial and vital and important here, and this is the question. in attendance to this question, this is the statement. Naturally, all numbers are in base 10. Or we can write it as this. If the number base is not specified, the base is 10. So if we just quote a number, check any number, 2, 3, 8, numbers which exist naturally in nature, counting numbers, real numbers. So long they are just numbers and the base is not specified, we should know that the base is 10. And knowing this statement tells us now that the actual question we are going to deal with is converting base 10 to A base 5 and B base 2, and of course we have a C base X. This principle we are going to teach is going to uniformly apply across any other base. So what we are going to practice now is the conversion from base 10 to base 5, base 2, and by base X, I'm just meaning any other base. Then in a later video, we are going to discuss the reverse operation of converting from base 5, base 2, base X back to base 10. How is it done? So as I erase the wing space, I have a comment to make. No one actually questions how addition is done. We were just taught that 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, and no one has the wit to question that notion that 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. There are things in mathematics where we are just told how it's done, and we do not have we do not have the know-how or the technicality of why it is done that way. Some of those things will be clarified as learning becomes higher and higher in institutions of higher learning, but some of the things will never be clarified. That's mathematics for you. This takes me back to George Orwell's 1984, to those who have read the book, where George Orwell was taking us through the thought process of Winston, when Winston was thinking how the Big Brother party could just make lies true through repetition, and when he was speaking about 2 plus 2 being equal to 5. So this is just a side note, but let us go back to our business. So our business here is converting 53 base 10 to base 5. How do we do it? This is how we operate on such a demand. We are going to thoroughly divide 5 into 53. And you appreciate why I used the term thoroughly. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 3 is 0. Remainder 3. 5 into 10 is 2. Remainder 0. And 5 into 2 is 0. Remainder 2. Then we have an arrow like this. Our answer is 2035. So 53 base 10 to base 5 is 203 verse 5. This is how we do it. Let us take a dive into it, try to explain things. So you see, our factor, it's remaining 5. We said 5 into 53, it's 10y. 5 into 5, that's 1. Then 5 into 3, it's 0. And this is our remainder. 5 into 10, remainder 3, it's 2, because 5 gets twice. 2 times into 10, the remainder is 0. 5 into 2, it's 0. 5 cannot get into 2, and obviously the remainder will be 2. Then when we quote the base, we start from this bottom number going upwards. You know the economics of the day, you know the economics of Karl Marx, communism, trickling upwards. This is how it's done. If you had paused earlier before we did 4a, you tried it out and you got to this answer, you so much know the principles which govern number bases. But if you hadn't done so, you are free to pause now before we go to B and try to work out B and find out if we arrive at the same answer. Because practice always makes perfect, especially when it comes to mathematics. Okay, so now we are going for B. So it's for B, and we are converting 53 base 10 to base 2. Doing so, we are doing the same operation. We are thoroughly dividing 2 into 53. Okay. 2 into 5, that will be 2. Remainder 1. And 2 into 13, that will be 6. Remainder 1. So again, 2 into 2, that's 1. 2 into 6 is 3. Remainder 0. 2 into 13, that's 6. Remainder 1. 2 into 6, 3. Remainder 0. And 2 into 3, it's 1. Remainder 1. Then 2 into 1, it's 0. Remainder 1. Trickle upwards. Our answer is, we start from the bottom, remember, 1 1 0 1 0 1. Remember, so starting from the bottom, now we are here. Remember it when you are doing number bases, that will help you. So base 2. 53 base 10 to base 2, that will be your answer. 110,101. So let us dissect the operation again. Our factor is remaining 2, and 2 is dividing into 5. It's 2, 2, 4. That's remainder 1 here, and we do our operation until we finalize with this answer. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you were able to understand what I was trying to communicate. If not so, I encourage you to comment in the comment section. It does not help anyone if they are not helping you. Thank you for watching and take care.